All right, guys. We got that Richard Jefferson on the squad now, so just gonna throw him in the lineup, and then we're gonna take a deep dive into his animations. Plus, we're gonna look at which cards um, from the JC Kid Spotlight we should be holding on to, if any, for that matter. Right? Who knows? So we're gonna get right into it. So there you can see I used all of the Kid Spotlight cards, but I did throw in Westbrook, and I was actually really glad I did it because Westbrook was extremely dominant in that last challenge. He made the last challenge pretty easy because he was just far better than... You play kind of an all-time team with like Jordan and Garnett and Gary Payton and Oscar Robertson, and Westbrook literally just dunked all over everybody. He didn't care at all. So he made that pretty easy. You don't have to use Jason Kidd in that spotlight. So we're going to get into Richard Jefferson. Before we go to his animations, let's really quickly review his stats. Funny enough, I don't see a whole lot of people talking about this card. So he's 6'7", right on the borderline of being a little bit small at the 3-guard position. I mean, with the 3-guard, the 3 position. And what I would do with this card, like right off the bat, is I almost look at this card as a duo card. I'm going to play him with Paul George, and I'm going to switch the matchups most of the time. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. He's not like so tiny that, you know, he's not like 6'4" or anything like that. But if somebody's running a 6'9", 6'10" power forward at the 3, Paul George can stand up to them, whereas RJ might have some struggles being the height that he is. So, as we expected, awesome finishing badges. For those who didn't watch him, I grew up watching a lot of Brooklyn Nets gameplay. Well, New Jersey at the time, New Jersey Nets gameplay, because both teams were local to New York, which is where I'm from. And when I grew up, every team wasn't on, TV all the time the way it is now. There was no such thing as the league pass, so you saw whatever came on TNT on Thursdays, and then you had your local teams for the most part. So I watched a lot of Richard Jefferson gameplay. And for those of you who didn't watch him, he was a monster, just out of this world dunker. He's kind of humble about it now, which is weird because he's not a humble guy, but he's always trolling. But yeah. So anyway, he's got all of the good shooting badges, right? Like literally everything. Does he have Hot Zone Hunter? Hot Zone Hunter is the only shooting badge of note that he doesn't have at least Gold or Hall of Fame. So that's super worth watching, worth keeping an eye on. He's got downhill. We'll look at his speed ratings to see if that Hall of Fame is a big deal or not. But Hall of Fame quick first step is a big deal. I say this every time I get the chance, but for those of you who don't know, downhill increases your speed by percentage. You can't, in most situations in this game, run faster than a 99. So once your character is running at a 99 speed, everything over that, whether it's a shoe or a coach or whatever, is just, I'm not even going to say overkill, it's just redundancy. So I know he's a pretty fast character, so that downhill is, it's really, it could have been silver and he would have got the same effect. Bailout, really, really good badge. Stop and go, he does not have tight handles, which is a little disappointing. For those of you who don't know, tight handles is really good because when you do the behind the back dribble, it's basically an auto stun. Like if you do it 2 or 3 times in a row, which is obviously cheesy, but hey, look, it's in the game. People are going to do it. It's important for you to know so you know how to defend against it. It'll put them in a stun animation, basically like a little tiny version of Ankle Breaker from like 2K19. And that makes the blow-bys even harder to stop off the behind the back. But he does not have gold tight handles, or Hall of Fame tight handles, or any tight handles. So he won't be benefiting from that, so you have to play a little more honest with him. But, he's 6'7", monster finisher. Let's look at his ratings. So, the guy's stellar ratings, right? Stellar ratings. Basically, he's pretty much 99 everything, right? Like, once you get, coach and floor general on here, except for standing dunk, which is an 85 on a 6'7", small forward, you're talking about basically 99 everything when it comes to shooting and dunking, right? So he's super, super elite in that regard. not much of a post-up player, but he does have a nice post fade at 82. So if you get a mismatch, if you're playing him in triple threat and you're running him as your one, that's going to be a significant advantage. He's 84 post moves. I personally don't ever remember seeing Richard Jefferson do a post move ever in all of my time watching New Jersey Nets, but it is what it is. 91 ball handle, which is obviously very significant. He does have solid rebounding for his height, so he won't be a complete liability in that regard. Since you are going to be running him at the 3, and sometimes he's going to be stuck, down low in those situations. Excellent interior defense at 86. 75 shot contest, that could definitely be better. 78 block with his high vertical. We haven't seen his vertical yet, but it's going to be really high. The 78 block is going to really come into effect. Did he have chase down? That's important. Yes, he has gold chase down, so he's going to be a really good defender. Really, really good. He's going to be good both in front of the ball and, behind the ball. So that's great. And he has a 95 speed. That's outstanding. There is a coaching boost pushing these attributes up, but again, everybody plays with a coaching boost, so this is pretty much standard. 95 speed, 88 speed with ball, 94 acceleration, and a 98 vertical. So, you could pretty much say that when it comes to guard skills, this character has a 99 in pretty much everything. Like, this is a quick summary. Now I can see right away he definitely isn't the fastest in terms of explosiveness off the dribble. Oh, that was quick. Hold on. Before he makes me eat my words, let me look at the rest of these animations. Yeah, his momentum is actually really quick. That's a pretty quick momentum dribble. Really nice dunk right there. Nice dunk package. So we're in the animation portion of looking at this card. His behind the back is not the greatest in the world. Behind the back's not the greatest in the world. Let's look at his fancy dunk real quick. Fancy dunks are kind of slow. Let's see if we can take off from further away. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's gorgeous. Let's try a forward dunk from further away. So that's good on a fast break. Really good on the fast break. It's what a lot of Pro-Am players use on a fast break because it doesn't get blocked if people are behind you. But if people are chasing you down like from the side, then you're going to want to use the left and the right dunks. Wow! That was incredible. That was really nice. That was a right stick right dunk. Yeah, he does it consistently. So he has these really uber athletic tomahawks, it looks like. He takes off from really far. That's a pretty tight cockback dunk. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, I have to say. All right, let's look at the shot animation. Well, look at the hot zones everywhere, basically. Basically, hot zones everywhere except for one spot. So that's great. And let's see what that shot is looking like. Okay, that's a little goofy. The nice thing is he brings the ball way back behind his head. So you just have to find the spot that the ball goes to, and then you'll start greening consistently. Alright, got a decent handle of it. It's pretty much when the hand is totally flat, but I see that his green window is a little on the small side for his whatever shot base he has. Slightly small green window. Not the worst, but the thing is his rating is basically a 99, which is widening the green window. So it shows that he doesn't have like a Kobe Hito Turkoglu like cheese release where the green window is gigantic. He has a fairly honest release, so you have to really learn how to shoot with this card. It's not difficult by any stretch. I don't want to make it sound like it's difficult. I'm just letting you guys know it's not cheesy. Because Kobe's release, once you understand it, is really cheesy. Paul George has a really, really, really nice release. And who's the other one? Hito. Just really, Lamar Odom. Really just like big old green windows in those releases. So once you learn those releases, you can literally go a game and hit every shot. I had lost a triple threat match, and I took 10 minutes, turned my shot meters off with Kobe, Lamar, and I don't even remember who my third character was. And let me tell you, I literally did not miss a shot with Kobe and Lamar the next match, like at all. Yeah, so he has a good shot. I give it like a B+. It's not a bad shot. It's not a broken release by any means, but it's a very honest release. So yeah, he's got some really, really nice dunk animations. He takes off from really far away. But the one thing about this card, he's just a little small for a card that can't play the 2 guard, right? Which is accurate. Richard Jefferson pretty much never played the 2. He was like locked in at the 3 for most of his career. He wasn't really a multiple position guy. He did play some small ball 4, I believe, at Cleveland. I don't think he did that in New Jersey, not to my recollection. Kenya Martin always played the 4. Or Keith Van Horn would play the 4. I don't remember how long Keith was with the team with RJ. I'm a little fuzzy on that. But yeah, he's a good card. I definitely favor his momentum dribble over his... let's look at his step back. Over his behind the back. I mean, it's still a behind the back, so it's still good. Don't get me wrong. But it's not... If you look at his behind the back, it's not like super duper quick. It's just decent. Whereas when you look at his momentum, he like really zips to the side there. That's a really fast momentum. That's like an abnormally fast momentum. So if they patch the behind the back dribble, this is going to be one of those cards that kind of benefits and moves up in the meta a little bit because his momentum is way above average. I would actually say he has an elite momentum dribble, to be honest with you. Let's look at his hop steps. Yeah, that's glitchy. Yeah, he's good. He's a really good card. I'm going to put a diamond contract on him, enjoy the fruits of my rewards for sure. And yeah, I'm gonna play this card a lot, and I'm mostly gonna run him with Paul George, so that I can basically switch them. Because Paul's 6'9", he's a big 6'9" too in this game. Like Paul George is a massive character model. So Paul George can guard anybody who runs a 3. Like he's gonna be excellent against Lamar Odom. It's not that I think Jefferson will be bad in that situation, but if you're closing out on a 6'10" card, you want a card. You prefer to have a card that's 6'8", 6'9". So that they don't, because when you close out late on somebody, your height, that's when your height really comes in and makes a difference. Now to RJ's credit, he does have long arms, and I always talk about that, guys. Keep in mind, wingspan is not listed in anywhere in this game to my knowledge, with these, at least definitely not in MyTeam. Maybe if you go into the player creator it'll list it, I don't know, but they still have wingspans, and wingspans are still really, really important in 2K. Right? Like wingspans are really important in 2K. So try to get a look at what characters' wingspans are, like, try to eyeball it and see how far their like hand comes down the side of their shorts. You can see his comes really far down. The closest the hands are to the waist, if that character just like feels bad on defense, then that might be why. It might be that they have a bad wingspan, but in the MyTeam community, we don't really talk about wingspan a whole lot. But you can see RJ has a really generous wingspan, so that's going to help him on that defense. But generally, you don't want a 6'6", 6'7" card guarding Lamar Odom, because if Lamar Odom, pulls one of these numbers from limitless range, and you sagged off of him, you want to be able to punish him, by getting up in his face. Whereas a card like RJ, you might just feel that little bit of, oh man, I contested him. I was there, and it's like, yeah, but your card is too short. Your character's just a little small to be guarding that guy out on the perimeter like that on those step backs. So if you can bring in Paul George to supplement that, then RJ is just a flat out top of the line, really excellent card. If you don't do that, then you might find yourself in some situations where you're saying RJ is good, but he's a little short. So Paul George and even Jimmy Butler can fix that RJ problem flat out, because they can both play the 2 guard, and they're both huge at the 2 guard position. So that's pretty much the RJ review. He's excellent in terms of offensively animations. He's got generally, elite animations. You can see he has the glitchy hesitation, which they're not going to patch. So this will be another move you see a lot around screens if they patch the behind the back, and then you're going to see the momentum, and the fast crossover from the hesitation. So now we're going to go into which cards I'm keeping and which cards I'm selling from the Jason Kidd spotlight. I would say out of the recent, packs that have come out, I think the Jason Kidd Spotlight has been better than the Moments cards and whatever came out before the Moments cards. I don't remember. But these cards are cards I'm much more inclined to keep across the board. So let's take a look and see which ones we're talking about here. Because there's obviously some bad cards too. So you can see I put Hakeem up for auction automatically. He's a good card, but he's not worth, sitting in my roster for 200, 30k MT. No way. He's out of here. Jason Terry, I'm keeping Jason Terry. Jason Terry is literally the best at what he does. If you're talking about a card that is fast, plays defense, shoots from range extender range, and like has an excellent release and excellent handles, it's him, Kyle Lowry, and Rajon Rondo, and he's the best out of the three. I don't want to sell Kyle Lowry. He's only 20-something K. I'd rather have Kyle Lowry on my roster than and just have a 3-guard rotation than to sell him for that 20-something K. But if I had to choose between the two, I would probably pick Jason Terry. I like Kyle Lowry's dribbling animations better. Kyle Lowry has a really cheesy park step back, but he's excellent. Vince Carter, I'll just be honest, I just don't like the card. His release is slightly slow. He just doesn't feel elite. If you play with Kobe, if you play with Paul George, you're just kind of, even that running with Richard Jefferson. The Vince Carter card is good. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have really anything special going in his favor, right? He's what's becoming the standard: range extender, good dunking, good speed. He does have some good animations, some iffy animations, but I just don't feel like it all came together with the Vince card. He just doesn't feel elite the way Kobe and Jimmy Butler and Tracy McGrady are like, whoa, what's happening? Even Zach LaVine, it's like Zach LaVine's a little short compared to those guys, but there's a whoa factor to Zach LaVine. Vince Carter feels very much like a lower diamond card, Kenyon Martin's on my team. I'm not selling this card at all. I already put a diamond contract on him. I'm going to Evo him, and he's going to be my backup power forward probably for a very long time. He'll be my role-playing power forward. I think he's excellent. He's another Pascal Siakam type card. There aren't that many in the game, believe it or not. You're talking about 6'9", rebounds super great, defends super great, dunks really well, has a little bit of blow-by going on. I'd say Pascal might be a little bit better at the blow-bys, but Kenyon has a really fast release. He's basically like Pascal Siakam with a fast release. So yeah, I think this card is excellent. He's a fun card for me. I'm definitely keeping him. Antonio McDyess. There's your answer right there. He can get out of it. I don't even care what his Evo's at. Jim Jackson. I really like the Jim Jackson card. Now, I will say he doesn't have range extender. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then by all means, stick your fingers in your ears and don't listen to anything else I have to say about this card. But everything aside from range extender, this card is really good at. Like literally, outside of not having range extender, he's got everything else. He's got great animations, really great dunk animations, great ball handling animations, one of the best behind the backs in the game. His is like really fast for some reason. He goes to a 90 speed. He's just stellar. Just a stellar card. You see, I just got the Amethyst Evo, so I got kind of a ways to go. I am most likely going to flip him once and then pull in another Sapphire Jim Jackson to Evo that one back up. This Hot Rod Williams card literally couldn't be more irrelevant. Just couldn't be more irrelevant. You can go to auctions too. Kerry Kittles. This is actually a solid budget card. Let's look at his stuff here. So he's got clamps, quick draw, no range extender. But on budget teams, you're usually going to either give up range extender or clamps. I think every card either gives up range extender or clamps below the Amethyst level, so that is what it is. Keith Van Horn, I think this card is a serious sleeper. I'm going to have him on the Amethyst Evo really soon, and I'm going to run some experiments on him because I have some ideas about this card, but I think this is one of the most slept on cards in the game. He's got catch and shoot, I mean basically every good shooting badge, range extender, quick draw, a great release. Great release. He doesn't have, right now he doesn't have a lot of defensive badges, but he gets a lot of defensive badges when you Evo him up. So there's that as well. This Penny Hardaway card is absolute trash. Send him to auctions. Just terrible defense. I don't know what it is. Well, this is Suns Penny Hardaway, so they could do him dirty, but generally they've been putting out these like horrible defensive Penny Hardaway cards. I don't know what's up with that, but it is what it is. Rex Chapman, he's actually a pretty good Sapphire. Let's dive in. He does have gold steady shooter, but he has it on gold, so it's not that bad. He's got gold, quick first step, quick draw, and range extender on a Sapphire card. So this guy is a budget monster. Like you're talking about if you're running a low overall squad, this Rex Chapman can definitely get on your low overall squad and get you some buckets. Let's take a quick look at his ratings. He's not going to play any defense for you, but again, he has range extender, so that's par for the course with cards over here. So his 3-ball is technically only an 80, but with those badges, it's going to feel much better than that. His ball handle's technically only an 80, but again, with the coaching boost and floor general, he's going to be able to speed boost. So this is a speed boosting 3-point shooting card, you know, at the Sapphire level, which is pretty rare. He's only at 81 speed, again, Sapphire, 88 vertical, which is very, very good. Very, very good. And he's got that 80 driving dunk. So this is just a solid all-around low overall card if you're running a low overall squad. This card is obviously trash, but I will say, offline he seemed to play defense better than he was supposed to, but who cares? He's horrible. He's literally just filler. The whole purpose of that card is they force you to play him against like Hakeem Olajuwon in the last challenge because there's no real other centers on your team, and you're like, you made me play Todd McCullough against Hakeem Olajuwon. I dislike you very much, 2K. That is like literally the entire point of Todd McCullough. So these are the cards I will be holding on to. Jet's in my lineup. Kenyon's in my lineup. Jim Jackson, I'm going to flip him. He's more for fun than anything else. I would definitely use him in triple threat. I like the card a lot. Card feels really good. Excellent dunking animations. Basically a perfect 2-guard minus range extender. That's pretty much it. If everybody bending over backwards spending 200K on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it's literally the same thing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a phenomenal card, except he doesn't have range extender. Jim Jackson is that, except Jim Jackson is also a phenomenal dunker. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not a phenomenal dunker. Jim Jackson is a really good dunker, and he just gets better at everything. He's got really super great dunk animations, and obviously he evos again. And let's take a look at his evo just to close the book on this conversation, just to remind you guys how good he gets. He's an amethyst. Where is he hiding? Where are you? There we go. Okay, so he goes up to a 90 speed, an 88 speed with the ball, a 90 acceleration. He goes up to an 86 steal. He gets an 88 lateral quickness, an 88 perimeter defense, 69 interior defense, which means it's a little harder to bully him. He gets a 92 3-point shot, which means he will make range extender 3-point shots. It's just you have to be perfect with your release in that situation because he doesn't have the extra badge helping him out. But look at all of these badges this guy gets. He gets so many Hall of Fame shooting badges. You know, grade machine, flexible, volume shooter, that's a good one. Catch and shoot, that's a really good one with a 92 3-ball. This guy's a bucket, and he plays defense, pickpocket, clamps, heart crusher, interceptor, lightning reflexes, off-ball pass, pogo stick, tireless defender, trapper, all gold. This card is basically an elite defender and range extender away from being an elite offensive player. You know, I really like this card a lot. I like him so much that I'm definitely going to sell this one for, I think he goes for like 70K. I'll sell this one, and then I'm going to Evo another one because he has a pretty easy Evo. Like even this is a really easy Evo. Like if you're grinding this out, you play those 30 games, and whatever's left over, you can literally do in rookie domination in just a few games. It's not that many points, not that many assists, only 100 3-pointers. You can take an afternoon and Evo this card from Amethyst to Diamond. Now that I am done with the Jason Kidd spotlights, my priorities are back to finishing up Lucius Allen and getting Cap up to Diamond. As you can see, he's really close. So Lucius Allen and Cap are back in my sights, and I need to grab some Diamond contracts. And aside from that, I'm just gonna look to make some MT. So everybody watching the stream, I'm just going to put this card up for. Come on, side. That's not happening. All right, so let's set this to. Oh no, you know what? What time is it? What time is it, guys? It is 8:49. So if I put it at 12 hours, he's going to be on bid in the morning. I want him to be on bid on prime time, so we're going to put him at 24 hours. So yep, that's the starting bid for that. Hopefully he doesn't go down in value. Don't see any reason he would. Vince Carter, I tell you what, I'm going to start him. I'm going to put him at 4 hours because he is lower value. And let's see if we can get that. I'm going to put him up for 90K bid and 100K buyout. And we'll see if he goes at that price. Tell you what, I'll put him even at 89K. If somebody buys him for that, I'll take a loss, but I'm inclined to believe that he will go up in the auction. In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to put him on buy now. I'm going to put him right there. No buy now for you. I don't need the MT like right this very second. So, and Antonio McDyess, I got to look up what these guys are fetching. I know they're worth basically nothing, but I want all of the nothing that they provide. And yeah, that's pretty much that, guys. Let's look at what my team is looking like now. For those of you who are curious. Now, I did gut my team to do those Hakeem challenges, but it's actually pretty profitable because I'll be most likely sitting on 300 something KMT by the time all of the cards are sold, especially once you throw in the Evo Jim Jackson. So I'll have a nice little nest egg. I don't play the auction house a lot, so I don't get my MT a little slowly. And what are we doing here? My team, lineups management, go to my meta barons, and we're going to get Paul George here. And we're going to put RJ there. And as you can see, we're down a center. I had DeAndre Ayton here, so I got to get Ayton back. I also had Hedo Turkoglu, who's still pretty cheap. So when I get my MT back, I'll have him. And then when I Evo Keith Van Horn, I don't hate my lineup once those two moves are done. I don't totally hate the lineup then, but we really need a truly elite point guard that like does everything long term. I'm fine with these three for now. They're all really, really good at what they do, but that's the upgrade position there. And then the next upgrade position is I need one more wing. So I have two A-tier wings. I think both of these guys are absolutely phenomenal. I would not prefer any other cards over, especially Paul George at 6'9", but I think Richard Jefferson can hang with anybody. You know, I don't think he's quite as good of a shooter from the way it felt shooting with him, but he's excellent. I get used to his shot. He's probably fine. Jim Jackson is a second-tier guard. He is second tier, though. I pick him over Jamal Wilkes. I sold Jamal Wilkes. I'm not going to buy him back. I will be keeping Diamond Jim Jackson over Jamal Wilkes. I suggest you guys try out Amethyst Jim Jackson because he's pretty cheap to pick up. And you'll get a feel of how his offense is. You know the card's going to be good defensively because of all the badges and stuff. So, yeah, I like him over Wilkes because he is a much better offensive card. Great release. A little bit on the slow side, but I don't have a problem with it. It's not, game-breakingly slow. And he's just an excellent dunker, excellent ball handler, and an excellent defender. But I still need a card as good as these two guys to fill out my rotation. Because Keith Van Horn's not going to make my main team, I don't think. But, time will tell. I'll see how the Amethyst goes because Keith Van Horn is good on both sides of the ball. So he might be my sleeper kind of almost as good as Hedo. And I really, really, really like Keith Van Horn's release a lot. So I want to see how he feels after the upgrades. So that's the squad now. We just gutted the team to get Hakeem. No regrets. It was a good quest. That spotlight's done. I happily welcome Richard Jefferson to the squad. Very much happily. And starting to stack up these pink diamonds, and soon Kareem's going to be a diamond, so we're looking all right. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Again, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and peace.